For more on this, we're joined by Texas Congressman Brian Babin. He sits on the House Committee on Transportation and Infrastructure. Sir, always appreciate you taking the time. You know, it's not news that many conservatives have always viewed Nancy Pelosi as nuts, crazy, not in possession of her faculties, 3 burritos short of a combination plate, wacko. But now it's an official resolution now filed by your colleague, Congressman Collins. What does that mean exactly?
Well, what this means is that, you know, if she's unable, ironically, she offered this bill on the 25th Amendment, supposedly to bring a president down because he was unfit to serve. If there was a legislative law just like that, I think she might fit that bill as well. But I can tell you that her refusal to deal and negotiate and help the American people when the chips are down like they are with the economy and COVID and the anarchy that's going across the country, I think absolutely is justified what Representative Collins is doing. And he's not the first one that even talked about it. This is something that's been being debated for the last several weeks as this sad story has continued of the lack of negotiation to help the American people.
Yeah, no kidding. I think she's absolutely crazy by holding hostage PPP so she can bail out left-wing states for their irresponsibility. Texas today, early voting began in the Lone Star State, and there were long lines reported all the way Austin, Houston, Dallas, Fort Worth, that area. But you know, it's a good thing, and a lot of folks that I was out there in line. I talked to some folks. They were willing to wait for hours to get out there and vote. You think that's a good sign for the president in a state like Texas?
I think it's an excellent sign. I think this is, without question, the most important election of my lifetime. And I can tell you it's got to be up at the very top of significant elections in the history of 243 years of the Democratic Republic, this proud, great country that we have. I think people realize just what's at stake here, an enormous, enormous risk of losing our great republic to anarchists, communists, Marxists, atheists, just to everything is on the line, protecting our First and Second Amendments, protecting the life of the unborn, safeguarding America's borders, ensuring that prisons remain open, that we still continue with ICE, that we still have police departments, for goodness sakes. And I can tell you, the rule of law has got to be upheld, and I think people are very apprehensive about the way things are going, and they see that a Biden-Kamala Harris ticket, the most liberal ticket in the history of this country, plus if Pelosi stays on as Speaker of the House and we, God forbid, lose the Senate, all of this would be going away. And, you know, I can't believe, Chris, what my ears, the way these people are so hypocritical, accusing us of doing things that they've been doing for years. And, you know, Joe Biden trying to distance himself from the Green New Deal and from socialism. When I heard with my own ears Biden say himself that he was going to retrain all of our oil and gas workers. I mean, the fact of what that would do to the great state of Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, so many other oil and gas producing states would be absolutely a disaster for this country.
Congressman, I want to get to, you sit on transportation, and as you know, this program has done detailed reporting on how the airlines have been not only problematic in how they're treating some of our air marshals who are wearing American flags, they're also firing their employees who have an opinion about Black Lives Matter on their own personal web pages, calling that Marxist group a hate group, which I believe they are. And Delta Airlines, for example, flying the Black Lives Matter flag outside their headquarters. Question: a lot of individuals, even Republicans, are wanting to get a bailout to the airlines so that they can continue to keep their businesses afloat. Should conservatives and Americans who believe in propriety be giving a bailout to companies who support a Marxist movement like Black Lives Matter?
Well, this is kind of an involved question, and let me just say this. When we passed the CARES Act originally, the $2.1 trillion bill, there was monies in that. There were funds in there for distressed industries. And I can tell you, as someone who flies and under normal conditions, I'm flying 2-3 times a week. We've got to have a viable airline industry. But I can tell you, I'm greatly disturbed by the support that many of these corporations are giving Black Lives Matters, which is really a Marxist group, Antifa and the far left. It's incredible what we're seeing. And I think it's so short-sighted on the part of these corporations to be funding an organization that if they come to power, will absolutely decimate these corporations and the free market economy that we have. So very, very, very short-sighted and ignorant and I hate to say it, but not smart.
Well, you know what, Congressman, I agree with you, and I think it would be a shame if American taxpayers' money went to these companies only to have them turn over those monies through donations to a Marxist organization that has said they want to burn down the American system of government. I think that's completely wrong. Congressman, appreciate the time as always.